Greetings. We are connected with unconditional love for your highest message of wisdom and guidance, most pertinent to you at this time. In your conscious world, we have the Eight of Pentacles. You're working on something new. It might not be brand spanking new necessarily to you, but in the degree that you're working on it and to others, it is a new thing for you. And not only is it new in the sense that it is young, but it is new in the sense that it is more futuristic. Even if it is an ancient thing that you're working on, it it, it invigorates you, it imbues you with this energy regarding the future, or it actually has a place in the future. It actually has a place in the collective future, in your personal future. Whatever it is, it feels very akin to your personal path and your mission here. So mission, it feels like you're very much involved with something that is or very, very, very directly related to your mission. And it feels like that's giving you a level of passion and vigor, but you're also balancing it out with the emotional waters, like the energy of unconditional love. And it comes in and balances out that fiery energy so that you're being soothed by your passion, and not soothed, you're being soothed while experiencing your passion rather than being in a state of too much fire, maybe, and all of the things that could entail. And by that, with the Three of Pentacles underneath the deck, it feels like it has to do with collaboration or working with others in general, even if you're not collaborating, even if it's just working with others in a group sense, even if you're working on different things, but there are different roles that other people are playing. You feeling more balanced in that fire versus water is strengthening your earth energy. And so as your earth energy is healing, for many of you, this could also have to do with the healing of the energy of your stomach area and your spleen area. But as this earth energy is healing and stabilizing, it's becoming easier for you to work with others in a reasonable way, work with others in a calm way, in a positive way, in a grounded way, and in a way that brings success. So for many of you, please take this as it resonates, but I'm feeling this sense of the interface through which you are working on this new thing seems to be kind of an archaic interface, more archaic than the energy that you're working with, and more outdated than the energy of what this interface is kind of helping you access. So to give a more concrete example, it's something like possibly you're working on a course, and in order for you to access that course and learn those materials, you're interfacing with a system. Could be a school system, or it could be just just a third party that whose duty it is to sort of bring you access to that information, or that whatever it is you're trying to do. That interface seems to be more outdated than what you're trying to access, and more archaic than what you're trying to create. But the beauty of your unconditional love and the fire of your passion are just kind of making it more possible for you to go through that situation in a much more, in feeling much more at ease, much more at ease than you would have felt in the past going through a similar situation, and less like that situation is speaking on you. Like, say the situation seems to have some lack associated with it. You're not letting that lack associated, like, tell any stories about you, because right now you're feeling very guided to do exactly what you're doing in the way that you're doing it. So in order for you to believe in your own abundance and do this, you're having to accept that this interface doesn't tell a story about you, and that you can move forward. So it feels like, in addition to you working externally with something that is strongly associated with your mission, this mission is also informing you on something related to your inner work that is freeing you into a higher level of collaborative dynamics. In your unconscious energy, you have the Knight of Cups, the High Priestess, the World, and the Star. So in your unconscious reality, and this feels like a lot like your spiritual reality. So your guides are highly involved in this. Source is deeply connected to, obviously, source is everything. And there are guides of yours coming out prominently as well right now in your spiritual reality that may be pulling on your spirit and moving you in ways that are even more powerful than you can feel, because you're so grounded right now in this earth energy. It feels like this Knight of Cups energy, this is telling of how spirit is drawing you via your soul. It's drawing you via your spirit. And this communicates with you through your intuition. There's a knowing that you have regarding the world. The world is the end of a cycle, the end of a major cycle, and the celebration of the beginning of a new one, a new way of being. But this new way of being also feels like it's requiring some courage, living in your true colors, and it's requiring that living in your true colors is just requiring courage in and of itself. It's a new living in this level of totality with yourself is a new thing for you. So that's what spirit is pulling you into, and you can feel that, and you feel strongly guided. You also feel that there's a light that tells you a peace, a light that brings you peace, and it's telling you that like everything will be okay. Things that you don't want to have happen and don't want to do, you will not have to do, and they will not happen. And things that you do will. And it's just this peaceful reassurance and this drawing forward of you by spirit. And in order to feel that more, and I think you are able to actually get a strong sense of this. And if you haven't been, in order to feel it more, we have the Hermit. So this is about entering a state of meditation, a state of deep internal attention and mindfulness, possibly stillness. This could be journaling, scripting. There's something here about going deep within in the way that you normally would, doing inner work in maybe even one of the earliest ways that you figured out how to do inner work. So maybe if you got more strongly onto your path via meditation or via journaling, it feels like that's coming around to be used. That tool is coming around to be utilized by you at this time, so that you can perceive how spirit is pulling you and what spirit is telling you, and the feelings, the truth of how you're feeling. And with the Three of Cups underneath the deck, we have this energy of, so it's kind of in contrast with that Hermit energy. And the Three of Cups is talking about associations, being in groups, and maybe celebrating in groups, spending time socializing with others. For some reason, it's followed by the Seven of Wands. So it feels like it's presenting a kind of block. It's bringing in a level of resistance for you at this time. And what is it bringing in a block or resistance to? Well, the Two of Cups. And this Two of Cups energy, it's your feelings about a love relationship here. It's your feelings about a love relationship and whether spirit is drawing you towards it in your future, or whether it is something that is outdated or maybe archaic for you. So there will be some considerations for you to make based on all of the information, the energy that spirit is providing you with. There will be some considerations for you to have. It feels like as you consider this in your own unique way of entering hermit mode, you gain a personal truth. You gain an understanding about some you gain some clarity about something. It's not an end-all be-all clarity, but it is something that allows you to look forward and move forward in such a way where you can communicate directly and clearly. And the reason that that's important, even if it isn't an end-all be-all Ace of Swords truth, is that it unlocks clarity and the ability to manifest something for yourself, some sort of forever desire of yours, some really long-term stability that you're looking for. These nudges in your manifestation are some of the things that Spirit is drawing you towards through that hermit mode and through listening to your heart and your intuition. How are others seeing you at this time? Well, they're seeing you as the magician. Many people around you, whether they are looking at you or not, they see you as someone who's very lucky. And with this energy of seeing you as very lucky, in some cases, it inspires this Five of Wands energy, which is like a little bit of a chaotic energy, a little bit of a frustrated energy, and I'm getting a troublemaker energy, like a rabble-rousing energy. See, this Five of Wands here on the bottom of the deck is associated with the Lovers and the Emperor. So it feels like a lot of this troublemaking energy is directed towards a lover situation and an emperor. So this could be going back to that Two of Cups energy that came out for you earlier on in the reading. But it feels like some of these people see you as someone who's very lucky, and it stirs up something in them that triggers them to want to create frustration in a lover's situation. But I'm also noticing that with this particular lover situation, there's a lot of emphasis on spirituality and on emotion. So it's nearly impossible to do anything that could decimate this any lover situation, and in particular this one. And it also feels like some of this troublemaking energy is just directed at an emperor. But with the emperor also being the representation of the sun, the divine masculine being the sun, that's also something that feels like it can't be corrupted. However, it does stir up some feelings, like emotions within each of the people in this lover situation. So if you ever find yourself feeling some level of frustration that you can't really pinpoint why you feel it, because there's just an intuitive and emotional way that you know that something isn't a problem for you, yet you feel contention within and frustration at another, possibly the other person in this lover situation. Spirit says to use this as an opportunity to go within and think about that Ten of Pentacles situation, that long-term desire, that long-term goal of yours that you're wanting. Use this as a moment to enter that hermit mode and examine the energy that Spirit is pulling you toward, and ask yourself what it is in your present energies that isn't yet in perfect alignment with your desire. And so in those places, align yourself with your desire and allow that present energy to realign itself with you. And then beyond that, don't worry or stress too much about those feelings, because the root of them is actually based in some negative intentions or some chaotic intentions from people outside of this lover's connection and someone outside of this emperor energy. Your guidance is the Six of Cups. It feels like Spirit is talking about letting go of expectations and preconceived notions about certain things in your life, your reality, and your present. Having those preconceived notions makes it harder to sink deeper into the present and truly experience the gift of your reality. And once you are able to sink into that present moment, you'll find that You are exactly where you need to be, yes, but where you are feels much better than you think. Things can feel worse and more uncomfortable and more unsure when we are holding expectations or looking at them too closely or coming at them with preconceived notions, or very importantly, just not sitting in the present, sitting in the past, sitting in the future. So Spirit wants you to just, it's not necessarily going back to the past, but it is looking at where the past has influenced your expectations, either in love, in life, in career, and just, be willing to let that go where it's no longer valid. This is going to require you to walk away from something. It'll require you to walk away from anything that isn't truly feeling fulfilling. So when you sink into the present with it, does it actually feel like it is in alignment with your soul and your heart and your path and your mission? And underlying the deck is the Three of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands. So this is an interesting little message coming in here to close the reading. And it's just talking about some of these expectations being released, just having to do around like what is possible in your reality, what is possible in reality, the level of abundance that's possible, the type of lifestyle or the type of abundance that is possible, or the type of abundance and lifestyle that your spirit is calling you to walk through, calling you to experience. Some of the expectations and the preconceived notions have to do with that, and how sort of weighed down your idea of the possibilities has been, how possibly outdated, maybe not up to current, up to how your heart is feeling it now and who your soul is. And so it's kind of just, archaic in a way. Outdated and archaic are two words that have really come up in this reading a lot. So it feels like there's something here about walking your path, and your path being more unique, more futuristic, and more pleasant, like more abundant than you previously thought possible. You previously allowed yourself to believe was possible because you had thought it before and maybe you imagined it at times, but you possibly thought you were being unrealistic. Spirit wants you to understand your sway over how reality actually goes. So there's some serious clarity and a strength of mind coming in that aspect. And it's healing a part of you that it's just healing a part of you that is able to believe in your worth and how worthy you are to experience a lifestyle like that. So whether you're a male or a female, or you consider yourself a masculine or a feminine, this is healing for your inner feminine, your inner divine feminine. So this is the part of you that attracts what it is that you want towards you. And it's the part of you that just knows your worth and is in touch with your spirituality. It's also the part of you that shows you what interests you, shows you what is driving you forward and what is pulling you forward. And so it's kind of a perspective of yours that you're attracted to. These are all the ways that you can look at the internal feminine. All in all, the Empress, the inner feminine, this represents a mental catalyst for you, and a very strong mental catalyst at that. And this strong mental catalyst is kind of breaking you out of your preconceived notions about your abundance and your path and what that would look like or should look like and how it should feel or would feel. So yeah, that was a very fun message to deliver. But let's see if Spirit has a message for us from the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle deck. Okay, so we had 2 cards come out, and I will read the 2 cards that came out, and then I will read the card that shows up under the deck with the underlying energy. The first card is number 1, Black Tourmaline, Protection. Black tourmaline absorbs negative energy and affords excellent energetic protection, enhancing your physical vitality. Strengthen your protection. Consolidate plans and be realistic. You'll soon see the way through obstacles. Ensure you are well protected. Ill wishing or envy may be directed your way. Neutralize bad energy without harm to others. Watch your thoughts. Attend to practical matters. Be generous and give others freedom. Neutralizing toxic energies from your environment, shielding yourself from ill wishing or EMF stress, and detoxifying your body supports well being. The second card to come out is number 18, Citrine, Abundance. A stone of joy and abundance, citrine helps you to interact creatively with the world. It promotes your inner calm. You spend too much time worrying about home, family, and finances. Remember, you are an abundant being who manifests what you need. You are an innocent, wise child who yearns to play. Joyful play creates a wonderful world. Be grateful, for you are blessed. Accept constructive criticism. Become emotionally balanced, letting feelings flow naturally. True abundance comes from within. If you nurture your desires, you will bring joy to your wise child self. And finally, we have the underlying energy, which is number 44, Purpurite, the curse clearer. Extremely effective for psychic and aura protection. Purpurite grounds high-frequency energy, harmonizing the physical body to the new vibration. It helps you to break away from self-destructive or self-limiting behavior. Energizing the physical and mental bodies, it overcomes tiredness, apathy, and despondency. Old habits and patterns, including those inherited from ancestors, may keep you mired in the past. Subtle energetics of ancient curses or ill-wishing could be affecting you. These may be personal or passed down through the family line. You may be open to mental influence from others. Be open to new ways to heal. Protect yourself appropriately, but do not be overly defensive. Check out whether you have inadvertently offended someone. If so, make reparation where possible. If not, send unconditional love and forgiveness without needing to know why or where. The past creates the present, but the past can be repaired and the present healed. Being a lineage breaker. So that was a very, very powerful reading that I'm so grateful to have been able to channel. I'm thankful for us having connected here today and for Spirit's unconditionally loving presence in delivering us this message today. I look forward to us connecting again in the next reading. So until then, do take great care of yourself and happy aligning.